Okay, girl, so the real reason most of us can't create our dream life is because our attention is too scattered. We are distracted by things that don't matter: reality TV, celebrities, social media, keeping up with the Kardashians, gossip. We're so busy keeping up with everyone else's lives that we don't have the capacity to create our own. I used to be the exact same way. I would go to work, come home, scroll my life away, maybe binge watch some TV shows, and I would wonder why nothing was changing. And to be honest, a lot of things were designed to do just that: hold our attention and keep us addicted and keep us distracted. But it does get to a point where we have to step up and take back control of our lives. So if you're ready to stop feeling distracted and start creating the life that you've always dreamed of, make sure you keep watching, because I'm going to share 4 things that have changed my life. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Tiara. I help women regulate their nervous system, shift their mindset, and become the most aligned version of themselves from the inside out. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next video. Number 1, the first thing is to take a social media break. Now, I'm not saying you have to delete every app forever, but if you really want to take back control of your life, you have to be aware of where your attention is going. Social media is one of the biggest distractions that we have today. These platforms were literally designed to keep you addicted by constantly giving your brain little hits of dopamine. And before you know it, you spent 2 or 3 hours on your phone, and now you're wondering where the day went. Then we tell ourselves we don't have enough time to work on our goals. But the truth is, so much of our time is being consumed by distractions. So instead of automatically reaching for your phone, replace that with a habit that will actually move your life forward. That can be reading a book, learning a new skill, going for a walk, journaling, work on your business, or simply do something that genuinely brings you joy. The goal here is to break the cycle of constantly consuming and intentionally start creating. Whenever I've noticed that I have been consuming way too much, I physically can feel it in my body. I can feel drained, exhausted, and nothing to show for it. I fall behind on the things that I'm supposed to do, and I find it hard to stay consistent and show up for myself. So I often take social media breaks. I am actually on one right now where I have completely deleted TikTok and Instagram off of my phone. Now, I have it on my iPad because I do upload content on TikTok, but I don't have it on my phone. And I honestly think this time I might keep it that way. I'm really thinking about it. I feel like I only need it on my iPad to be able to upload my content. But I often take breaks from social media, and whenever I do, I see a big change in me and how I show up, and I can get stuff done. So I highly recommend taking a social media break. Number 2, pay attention to the foods you consume. Now, this one might surprise a lot of people, but the foods you eat absolutely affects your mood, your energy, and your focus. Food can either support your brain or work against it. When your blood sugar is constantly spiking and crashing, you're much more likely to feel tired, unfocused, irritable, and you're more likely to eat processed foods. And when you feel that way, it's really hard to stay consistent with goals that you've set for yourself. I myself was doing all of this wrong. I wasn't actually eating foods that supported my body, and I was always overeating. I literally would make my plate the size of my fiance's, even though this man is 30 plus pounds more than me. Why are we eating the same size meals? I was overeating. And then I would wonder why I always felt bloated, constipated, overweight, and couldn't lose weight. So once I started paying attention to what I was eating portion sizes that was fit for me, and choosing foods that made me feel energized instead of sluggish, I noticed a huge change. Your food doesn't just affect your weight, it affects your mood, your focus, your energy, and even your motivation. So start asking yourself, does this food make me feel better or worse? Because food plays a much bigger role than what you realize. Number 3, I want you to reframe negative thinking. Now, don't get me wrong, negative thoughts are going to happen. I still have negative thoughts that pop up in my head, but what I do differently now is I reframe them instantly, because I realized I couldn't keep letting negative thoughts control my mood, my actions, and ultimately my life. So whenever I notice myself starting to spiral, one of the first things I do is listen to Neville Goddard on YouTube, and they have plenty of other affirmations, just positive motivational videos that you can listen to whenever you feel yourself thinking negatively. That for me immediately interrupts the negative thought loop and bring me back into a more peaceful state. And over time, those little moments of bringing myself out of that negative thought process eventually brought me to a more positive light in general. I have way more positive thoughts than I did in the past. And so if you are someone who thinks negatively a lot, start reframing those thoughts over and over and over again until they stop. Now, you will still get thoughts here and there, but you have to change the baseline of your thought process. If your baseline is negative thinking, then it's going to be that negative thinking. But when you're constantly consuming positive things, your baseline changes over time. That is the goal here. And that's actually one of the reasons I created my Inner Glow workbook. It walks you through identifying the limiting beliefs that are keeping you stuck and helps you start replacing them with beliefs that actually support the life that you're trying to create. So if that's something you've been struggling with, I'll have it linked for you below. Number 4, last but definitely the most important, get focused on what you do want. Most people spend their entire lives thinking about everything they don't want. I don't want this job. I don't want this relationship. I don't want to be broke. I don't want to be stressed. But if that's all that you're focused on, that's exactly where your attention stays. So I want you to get crystal clear on what it is that you actually want. What type of person do you want to become? How do you actually want to feel every day? What relationships do you want? What career do you want? What do you want your mornings to look like? Get specific and start taking small actions that move you towards that goal every single day. And you don't have to have everything figured out today. You just want to keep moving in a direction of the life that you're trying to create. Because once you become intentional with your attention, once you stop letting distractions ruin your life, and once you consistently take action towards what you truly want, you will absolutely start seeing your dream life unfold before your eyes. So I hope this video encouraged you to take back control of your life, because you deserve to create a life that you are genuinely excited to wake up to every single day. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and let me know down in the comments what's one distraction that you're ready to let go of this week. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're ready to go even deeper, don't forget to check out my Inner Glow workbook and join my coaching waiting list. I'll see you in the next video.